Welcome to aminacademy.com and the questions how, why and what. In that, let us discuss about these questions and answer. What are submarines? How long can submarines stay underwater? First, we discuss about what are submarines. Any naval vessel that is capable of propelling itself beneath the water as well as on the water surface. This is a unique capability among warships, and submarines are quite different in design and appearance from the surface ships. Submarine first became a major factor in naval warfare during World War One. 1914 to 18, when Germany employed them to destroy surface merchant vessels. In such attacks, submarines used their primary weapons, a self propelled underwater missile known as torpedo. Submarines played a similar role on a larger scale in World War II, 1939 to 45. In both the Atlantic by Germany and the Pacific by the United States in the 1960s, the nuclear powered submarines capable of remaining underwater for months at a time and of firing long range nuclear missiles without surfacing became an important strategic weapons platform. Armed with torpedoes as well as anti ship and anti-submarine missiles, the nuclear attack submarines has also become a key element of naval warfare. Following is a history of the development of submarine from the 17th century to the present. For a history of other warships also happened. First, yearly hand-powered submersible, a first serious discussion of a submarine, a craft designed to be navigated underwater, appeared in 1578 from the pen of Williams Bone, a British mathematician and writer, a naval subject. Now we'll discuss about detail about the submarines. What are submarines? How long can submarine can stay underwater? A submarine or sub is a watercraft that can travel underwater. Submarines are used by militaries and scientists for a variety of purposes, including military. Submarines are used to patrol ocean waters and attack enemy ships. Military submarines are usually large and can carry weapons like torpedoes and missiles. Scientific. Smaller submarines are used by scientists and explorers to study the underwater world. These submarines may have tools like cameras and mechanical arms. Some small submarines are used for business purposes also. Some people buy their own submarines to explore the ocean. Submarines are different from submersibles, which have more limited underwater capabilities. Submarines are also sometimes referred to as boats, regardless of their size. Submarines are able to dive and surface by filling and emptying their water tanks. To divide, the submarine fills its tank, makes it denser and heavier than seawater, which causes it to sink. To surface, the submarine empties its water, making it less dense than seawater, which causes it to rise. The basic contours of modern submarines began to emerge in the 1870s and 1880s through the work of inventors like George Garrett, Thorsten Nordenfeldt, and John Philip Holland. Now, further detail about submarines. Submarines can stay underwater for a month, long up to 6 months. They can stay underwater depending on the types of submarine and its resources. Nuclear submarines can stay underwater 3 to 4 months at a time. They can carry nuclear fuel up to 30 years, but the only resources that limit how long they can stay underwater are the crew's food supply and the need to maintain the vessel. Astute, this British submarine can operate underwater for 25 years. It needs to resurface only to take on food. Submarines get oxygen by heating seawater to create water vapor. The salt are left behind, cooled, and collected in a tank. An electrical current is then passed through the purified water to separate water molecules into hydrogen and oxygen. Let us discuss about how the working principle of submarine. Look at here. This is this tank. Here it is on the surface of seawater. Like after filling seawater, it go down further fully filled. It's submerged. Look at this sectional view of submarine. This is a ballistic tank and interior where the cruise leaves this place. Here compressed air tanks also assembled here. Submarines operate on the principle of Archimedes and static equilibrium and use ballast tanks to control their buoyancy to and dive at surface or surface means come up. What is Archimedes principle? The buoyant force on a object in a fluid is equal to the weight of the fluid it displaces. Static equilibrium. When a submarine is surfaced or neutrally buoyant, the buoyant force is equal to the weight of the submarine. This is a static equilibrium. Ballast tanks. Submarines have large tanks at the base that can be filled with air or water to or control buoyancy. On the surface, when a submarine is on the surface, that is above the water level, its ballast tanks are filled with air, making it less dense than water and allows it to float. Diving. When a submarine dives, water is pumped into the ballast tank, making it denser than water and causing it to sink inside the water. Surfacing. To surface, that is, a crew pumps air into the ballast tank to force out the water. Then submarine come up and surfacing. So far, we discussed some interesting things about submarine and its uses and where it is used, how it works. We have done. Please subscribe our YouTube channel.